Hey, welcome to Helium 10 overview. In this video, we're going to talk about software called Helium 10. We're going to do an overview and like a review of the tools of Helium 10. We're going to show you what kind of tools they have, how can they help you. We might have some examples of the tools to show you the tools of Helium 10 in action. In the description, there are going to be timestamps for each tool. So if you're looking for a specific tool to understand how it works, there's a timestamp for that, as well as they're going to be free account and trial of Helium 10 and discounts that are available through the link in the description. It's going to be an affiliate link, means if you do business with Helium 10 at some point, I'm going to get a little commission from that, no extra cost to you, but in this way it's possible to support all the free content that we're creating here. So thank you for that. And with me, Carrie, she's from Helium 10. She's been a guest on our channel multiple times. I'm going to have the videos with Carrie in the description. We have videos about Walmart. There's like a playlist that I've created. So check them out. And Carrie, can you please introduce yourself to us? You're an Amazon seller, you're with Helium 10 as well. And then we're going to dive into the content. Thank you.
Yeah. So my name's Carrie. I have been a seller since 2016. I've been selling on Amazon, Walmart, and I have a Shopify site. And I've been using Helium 10 since about 2017. So I'm pretty excited to show you guys all the kind of my favorite tools and a good overview for everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Let's see. Helium 10 has many tools. Again, through the link in the description, everything people can see like what exactly there is, but we're going to jump into it now and see and show. And if anyone has any questions, of course, ask questions in the comments and we'll answer.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to start in Black Box. Okay. So Black Box, what you can do is at the top, there's a tools bar here and you can drop it down and there's a product research section, and Black Box is our main tool for product research. So there's a bunch of different tabs, and I'm going to highlight the products tab, the keywords tab, and the product targeting tabs. So the first one I'll talk about is just products. So in products, the first thing you want to do is you want to choose different categories. So I like to choose a few different ones. Now you can choose all of them, but these are the kind of the categories where you would want to sell products in. So I've got kitchen and dining, pet supplies, sports and outdoor, or maybe I'll do tools and home improvement. You can choose whatever you want there, but you definitely need to choose some categories. You want to choose a sales price as well. And so I always do 25 to 90, but I really don't like to go lower than $25 because of margins, and you just want to make money. So I look for products that are higher priced than $25. I also like to see things that are, selling a good amount of money every month. So I like to start off with a minimum of 10,000 in revenue for a product. But all of these filters on here, you can use them and use them in different combinations. And that's kind of the beauty about this tool, is that you can get in here and you can start playing around with the filters. And once you start doing that, you'll start saying, oh, maybe if I put this number in here, maybe I should do that. And it'll change the results that you get every time. And that way you're not getting the same thing that maybe everyone else is doing. And a lot of people have gotten really good at Black Box. And that's kind of the secret sauce, is just, getting into the tool and playing around with it. And something that I want to point out is there is a learn button up at the top right here. So if you forget anything that I'm saying in this presentation, you can actually go into each tool, and we have learn buttons for every single tool that's on here. So you can learn individually how to use these tools, so you don't get too overwhelmed. But another thing is reviews. Okay. So the ratings, sometimes I like to either do a minimum review count or a review rating. So you can do both. Sometimes I like to look for products that are selling well, but they have a low review rating, because then maybe I can make the product a little bit better. So I have a maximum of a 3.5 rating here. Maybe I'll do a maximum of 50 reviews. And then sometimes I also like to look at small standard size, because they have the lowest fees for Amazon. So that's kind of where I like to fit in there. You can do a listing age. Some people put like a maximum of 3 months, because then you could see, something that's up and coming that's just started selling. So there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize these different filters, but I'll just start with that. And what's going to happen is we see a bunch of results of potential product ideas here. So we've got, some table runners. We've got a bunch of different products here. So you can look at each one differently and individually. So let's look at this dog soother thing. I like pet products. So you can take a look at this. You've got a 3.1. So what you can do is take a look at the ratings, and you can see why. Maybe see it's too tiny, so they think they're not getting enough product. So maybe the product is really good, but they don't like how small it is. So that's something to think about. You can also go in here and edit the filters if you want to. So it's not all is not lost if you want to change the filters. So to get more, I'm going to change that maximum of 50 reviews. Now, a maximum of 50 reviews would just mean that maybe it's a less competitive, because if something has thousands of reviews, it's going to be, a little harder to break into. But I want to see if we can get some more products, so we can get one that I can show you an example.
I think. It's
Which
I'm
one?
not sure. The first
Oh,
one.
this one? Okay,
Yeah,
cool. This
something
socket wrench.
cool,
Cool.
looks really, simple and seems like it's bringing pretty good revenue. Not many reviews. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at that. So yeah, it has, let's see, 17,000 a month, which is good. The reviews are a 3.5. So we got to see what's going on there.
Mhm.
$29.99. I like that price. And you know what? You're right. It's a small, like probably not too expensive to make this. It's a socket wrench. Okay. So let's see what the reviews say. You can take a look. And something cool about Helium 10 is we have this extension here.
Mhm.
And what you can do is you can click on review insights and it's going to pull all the reviews here and it's going to help you analyze them. So you can do a review analysis. You can actually do a review of all the questions that people are asking. So it gives you a good idea about what customers are looking for, what questions they have, and all of that. So let's see here. Too small. So it's too small would be a reason, it looks like people would not recommend this, maybe would not stay attached. So you get a really good idea of maybe what's going wrong with this particular tool. I'm not really as familiar with tools, but you can go ahead and solve all of these issues and create a better product. We'll take this one as an example, and we'll look at this market, the socket. Let's see here, custom socket wrench.
Yeah, interesting. Seems very small, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah, we can take a look and see let's see. We're going to duplicate this and I'm going to just say, okay, so custom socket wrench, 1/8 inch. Let's see here. So I'm going to just copy that. I think that's probably the main keyword. Would you say?
yeah,
Maybe like to describe it. And I'll search that. And what I like to do is I take a look and I will pull our Chrome extension. And what this is going to do is it's going to further validate whether or not this is a good product idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the extension and it's going to show us the sales, the reviews, overall, everything that in this category. So it looks like maybe something is a red flag for me right away. What do you think? Maybe that wasn't the right keyword.
Maybe the custom socket wrench without the 1.8 inch, maybe without that
Okay.
part. But I don't know. Yeah. Or just socket wrench, maybe that would be, it's a bit hard to.
Let's do socket wrench. Okay. So we're going to do a socket wrench and we're going to search that.
So that's in industrial and scientific. Also, what sometimes I do as I switch it to
do general. I didn't even notice that it was doing that.
Kind of show extra, few products. Yeah. Also, sometimes, Carrie, when I'm, let's say, looking at the product and I want to understand the main keyword, we're gonna see that soon in the Cerebro. I put it into Cerebro, which a tool we're gonna cover soon, and then we can see, like, I guess, the main keyword as well. But also, or just through like, just like some manual search to see what's up as well, to see the niche keywords. Yeah, this probably is a bit more broad, right? Here's we have these.
Because this is what it looks like. Socket wrench. Yeah, you'd have to do some more investigating on what the exact category is on that one. But maybe let's find an easier one. Like let's do a knee brace for dogs. Okay, right. So this knee brace, it looks like a lot of people are buying it, but it has a 3.5 rating. And usually with dog stuff, it's the sizing that usually people give bad reviews for. So you can take a look at the reviews and you can see what it is, then you can improve upon it. But let's go ahead and what we can do is duplicate this and we can say dog brace, but I'll put it in all. So this is their dog. It was a knee brace, right? Though dog knee brace.
Yeah, knee brace for dogs or dog knee brace.
Knee brace for dogs. Knee brace for dogs. All the cute puppies on there.
Yeah, it's interesting here because sometimes people also ask about these niches if it's possible to use like something instead of the product. So, or people are asking rather, is it okay or not? So what I'm saying sometimes is look at what others are doing, and if everyone has a dog, and then I guess Amazon is not blocking it, so maybe they actually wanted people to do it this way. Okay, there goes.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll take the Chrome extension, and this is another tool. This is our Xray extension. This is going to show us the revenue again for this particular product. It takes some time to load sometimes, but this is going to show us, whether or not there's demand for the product, whether it's too competitive. So it gives us a really good idea of what we can expect in this particular niche. Now, sometimes what you can do is you can look at different keywords though, because maybe one keyword is really, really competitive. And so it might seem like a bad product, but if you can find multiple keywords where there's not a ton of reviews and there's, a good amount of revenue and sales coming in for those keywords, then those might be opportunities for you. So on this one, we've got, a total of 341,000 in revenue. When we take a look at this at the price, that is a really good price, especially for a knee brace type thing like this. Probably isn't too much to get that manufactured, and it's small. So that's a really good sign. So good revenue. The next thing is what I want to look at is ratings, review count. So review count, it looks like they're, in the top 10, there's still some low reviews, like 49. So there's still some opportunity to get in here and beat some of these bigger players out in this niche. So this looks like pretty interesting product to take a look at. So we can keep that one in mind as we go across, but I want to show you keywords as well in Black Box. So keywords is another great way to find products, and you do it by searching search volume. So when there's a high search volume, that means that, there's people searching for this particular product. So search volume, I usually put like a minimum of 2,500, and you can fill out the rest of these filters, this, similar to what I did before, do monthly revenue and price. So I'll just start with that. And I always put a minimum of a 2 word count, and I'm just going to put search, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. But all of these filters, again, the more you play with them, the better results you're going to get. So we've got punching bag with stand. So that's one of the products. So if you want to take a look at it on Amazon, you just click on these 3 little dots and click view on Amazon. Okay. So this could be a potential product. There's a lot of potential product ideas based on keyword results. So it shows you the search volume, and these are pretty good search volume ranges, not too many searches and maybe not too competitive. You can take a look at that further, but this gives you a good place to start on, starting with keywords, and you can look for more keywords. The other tab that I wanted to show you is product targeting. So product targeting is really interesting because maybe you already are selling something. You're like, I already have, a niche that I'm selling in, or, an idea of something that you want to sell, but maybe you want to bundle it. So there's a few different things you can do. So what I'm going to show you is I'll take this knee brace here, and I'm going to copy the ASIN, which is in the URL here. I'm going to go back to Black Box, and I'm going to put the ASIN in here. And what this is going to do is it's going to come up with products that are very similar to this product, or, maybe that other sellers are selling, so that you could maybe sell with it or kind of expand your line. So we've got, another kind of brace. We've got supplements, which would make sense. If the dog has some sort of injury, maybe a supplement would go good with it. We've got a belt here for your knee brace for the dog. We've got a sling for dogs, all kinds of really great kind of compatible products that you can utilize this tool to, expand your reach. So this is why I like this one, is because it gives you more ideas. So maybe you like kind of like an idea, but you want to see what else that could be similar to it. You can utilize this strategy as well to find more different types of products to sell, just basically by putting in the ASIN. That's one of my favorite ways of finding kind of similar products that are in your niche. So once you've kind of figured out which product it is that you want to sell, you can go to Cerebro and start looking for keywords. So this is the way that I usually do it. I usually take a look at the Xray, and I take a look at who the biggest sellers are in a niche. Okay. Whenever you're already selling in Cerebro, you're going to always want to put your ASIN first, because everything in Cerebro, we compare to the first ASIN. But because we don't have a product, we'll just kind of choose one here. And the first thing I'll do is I'll show you, let's see here. Let's take the one that's selling the most. So I'm going to sort. I love to sort these columns to see who's selling the most. And I always like to look at the top sellers. So we've got this one is selling for, 52,000. And one way you can do this, if you wanted to take a look at just this one product, you can click on this check mark and hit run Cerebro. So it makes it really easy. Takes you to the Cerebro tool, and it's going to automatically fill that ASIN in for you. You don't have to copy and paste it, and it will basically give you the results of the keyword search. Obviously, again, if you want to compare to your own ASIN, you're going to have to copy and paste and make sure that your ASIN is at the beginning. But here we go. So here are the results of this particular product. So we've got all the different keywords. It's going to show you keyword sales. So that's how many sales conversions are on this keyword. It's going to show you search volume. It's going to show you trends, title density. Now, title density is how many competitors are on page 1 for that keyword that have that exact phrase in their title. Now, if they have that exact phrase in their title, that means it's going to be more competitive the more people who have that in their title. But if it's less, like something like 0, that could be an opportunity for you, because if you put it in your title, you're going to be able to rank a little bit easier for it if it's in your title and it's a focus keyword for you. So I always like to look for those title density low numbers. I'm going to also show you another way I spy on my competitors, their sponsored ads, basically, because people always want to take a peek into what keywords your competitors are looking at. So I will sort by sponsored rank, see all of the keywords that my competitors are targeting for their sponsored ads. So you can see that they're number 1 in the sponsored rank for all of these different keywords, and you can see if they're good. Sometimes they're using auto campaigns. So like, for example, dog nail ointment, they're using an auto campaign. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I always like to do keyword research, because auto campaigns will filter these crazy not related keywords. True. Another one is cat teeth claw cleaning shoes. So if they're advertising on that, that's not a good one for this particular product. Yeah. So, you can see that maybe their strategy isn't too great, but maybe you can find some good ones. I actually had an instance where I found keywords, or basically my competitor was targeting brand name keywords for all of our competitors, but they weren't huge brands like Nike or something like that. It was the small third-party brand names, and they were actually doing really well with that. So I did the same. I created a video ad and was able to, make, I think it was like 15 to 20,000 that first month. It's a really good way to kind of see what your competitors are doing, especially if they're selling really well. Take their strategies, I guess you could say, spy on them. The next thing that you can do is take those other competitors and you can compare them all to each other. So what I'll do is I'm going to copy a few of these. So I like to see a lot of revenue. So we've got 44,000 here. So I'm going to copy this in here and hit paste, and I'm going to go and do, let's see, the next one is 33,000. I like to see the high revenue ones because I like to steal those guys' keywords because they clearly know what they're doing. And then I'll do this one. Now you can do, depending on your level of your plan with Helium 10, you can do up to 20 ASINs at a time. Most of the time, I don't do that many, but you can do it at as many as 20. And remember, again, this is the ASIN that everything is going to be compared to. So if you do have a product and you want to compare yourself to your competitors, keyword strategies, you always want to put your ASIN first, and then that way you can compare yourself. So when I hit this search, I'm going to get a bunch of different keywords, and I'm going to basically be able to compare myself with these competitors and see where the holes are. So something else I want to add is there are a lot of great filters here. So you can filter down these keywords. One of my favorite things to do is, put phrases containing. So I might say, knee brace is what I want to see, all the phrases containing knee brace. And if I click on that, it'll show me only the phrases that contain knee brace. You can also do a certain search volume. Maybe you're looking for a certain range. Like maybe you want to look at low hanging fruit and you're looking at like 500 to 2000 range. You can do that. There's a bunch of different ways that you can sort and filter these keywords. But if we scroll down again, you can see the keyword sales again, the search volume, and you can see the, the sponsored rank for that first keyword on there, or sorry, first ASIN. But what I like to do on this strategy is scroll over to position rank. Okay. So this position rank is the organic rank for that first ASIN. So that means where it's ranking on the page. So say you search dog braces for knee, that first ASIN is ranked 76th on the page. So you have to scroll 76 listings all the way down. So that's probably not too great for that first ASIN. So if that was my ASIN, I would think, okay, I need to work on that. But the relative rank is where you're going to see where you are in relation to your competitors. So this is kind of like a race. Okay. So this shows that first ASIN that we put in there, which will just kind of act like it's ours. That means we're 4th place in the race against these competitors. We're 76th and our competitors are 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So we're really behind on dog braces for knee. And so that's something we really want to take a look at and see if it's something we want to rank for or, start targeting. But you can see all these places where you're kind of not doing as well and where you need to improve on these particular keywords. So it's really, really helpful to, kind of spy and see what your competitors are doing and how you can potentially target those keywords as well. Something else is if you have your Helium 10 account connected to your Amazon account, you can actually see brand analytics data, which is even more helpful. So it depends on the search volume and, kind of, and things like that. But this little graph, you can actually click on it and it's going to show you the click share. Okay, so it's going to show you which products are getting the most clicks for that keyword. So on this one, you can see these are the top 3 clicked keywords right here. Sorry, clicked ASINs. So you can see this one is, they've got 11%, this one's got 9% and 7%. So it's kind of an interesting comparison. So let's do one that has a lot more clicks. The click share is kind of low on some of the ones I was clicking on. So you can sort by click share. So, okay. So, and I'm going to actually filter down even more. So I'm going to put knee brace.
I want to say, Carrie, while you're doing that sometimes, let's say we see click share and the top 3 ASINs are taking, let's say, only 15%. With one is, taking 7, the other one's taking 5, the other one is taking only 3, right? Only 15, right? If I'm not mistaken. So the rest of 85% is going to position number 4, 5, 6. So it can be a good kind of indicator for those newer sellers. If they want to rank a specific keyword, they know, maybe if I won't rank position number 1 or 2, there's still many other ones that are getting clicks. So it might be a good thing as well. Sometimes it's different.
That's a really good point.
Top 3, if they're getting like 90%, you gotta either go to these 3 positions, or otherwise you won't get as many clicks, right?
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times those keywords are kind of more general, or like maybe it's like a backpack and there's a bunch of different styles and colors, and people are looking at all the different ones. So there's different reasons for that. So that's a really good point. So it could be an opportunity or it could be a challenge. So let's see here, leg sleeve for under knee brace. See, there could be another product idea. A leg sleeve to protect your dog's leg from chafing or something like that. Let's go ahead and click on the click share and we can see the top 3 clicked ASINs. Interesting. Okay. This is for humans though. So
yeah, looks like a human leg, right?
This is the human ones. Let's see here. I'm going to put dogs.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see. This kind of filters it down quite a bit.
Because it takes the phrase exact, and then there's not many, I guess, knee brace dog, right?
Yeah, so let's just do dog.
Perfect. Yeah, there we go. It seems we have something.
Yep, there we go. Looks like dog pain reliever.
Maybe dog knee. We can do something like that. Let's see.
There we go.
Okay.
Let's click on this one. It's a very specific one.
Hooks, I think patella. Maybe disease or something.
Luxating patella, yeah, maybe it's it must be common because it looks like people are searching for it. Yeah. Again, this is click share is kind of lower, which could mean that people are just looking at the different styles. They're looking at reviews. They're looking at a lot of different things. Even if you're not organically ranked number 1, like this is the 5th position, you could still potentially make sales on this particular keywords. It's really interesting. Another thing is you can actually from here run our listing analyzer tool, and this is another really great tool that you can utilize in addition to keywords. And basically it's going to take those top 3 clicked products that were listed there, and it's going to do this listing analyzer, and this will show kind of all of those 3 products compared to one another. It's going to show the sales, the reviews. It's going to show opportunity keywords. So it gives a lot of really great insights. Now for listing analyzer, you can actually put in whatever ASINs you want. I just clicked from Cerebro. You can actually go to this tool by just clicking on the tools bar. You can click on listing analyzer right here, and you can put in up to, I think, 10 ASINs. So you put the main ASIN, that's your ASIN usually, and then you can do the comparison ASINs. Okay. So this is what it'll kind of look like. It's still loading it. There's a lot of data that comes in here. So I'll just let it load for just a second.
But what kind of data we get here? You see sales estimation, the category and subcategory BSR, I guess, of these ASINs that were loading, or one ASIN actually, right?
So this is of the main ASIN right here. Then it compares these ASINs down here. So you can see the comparison and all kind of stacked on each other. You can see the sales, the revenue. You can see the review rating. So this one is interesting because it's one of the top 3 clicked, but it's only got a 3-star review. So that's kind of interesting. You can take a look at, let's see here, all the different, the size ranges, how long it's been on. And what I love though is the media comparison, because maybe this one has better images. So I don't know, maybe they like this dog better as the main image. So could be, maybe we should do more of this little fluffy dogs in our main image or something like that, or whatever it is. But you can actually compare the images. So say this is your product, then it would be compared to the other 2 products. And you can see what images maybe you're missing, like maybe you're missing a size chart. And that could help you dramatically because, people are always looking for an accurate size chart. Looks like all three have them, but there's, different things that you might be missing that you can add in. So that's one of my favorite ways to use Listing Analyzer. You can scroll down and it'll also give a breakdown, like a listing quality score of that main ASIN. It also gives peek into the keywords. So this is the keyword kind of opportunity grid, and it'll show these keywords and it'll show the least opportunity and most. So the darkest is the most opportunity. So it looks like this one has a good amount of opportunity. Dog braces for back leg. There's a bunch of different keywords that you can see that potentially have some good opportunity for that particular ASIN. So you can see, again, you can go back to Cerebro and you can see the full list right there. But this is a great tool just to kind of see an overview of you compared to your competitors, if that's something that you want to do. I love this tool. I think it's really helpful, especially the images. But if you have alerts set up too, you'll actually see black dots on this. I don't have alerts set up, unfortunately, on this account, but basically it'll show you, okay, maybe your listing changed here, or maybe something happened, and you can see kind of the reasoning why your BSR is going up and down. You can see, when a new category comes in, it'll show it, a new subcategory and things like that. So really helpful tool to kind of get an overview. And then the next thing is listing builder. So once you've got your keywords and, your competitors and all that stuff, you basically want to start building your listing. And the way that you do that is through our listing builder. And listing builder is awesome because you can just go in here, you can add a listing, you can save all your listings like you saw on that first page I just had. That's where we had all of ours saved. You can, if you have your account connected to Helium 10, you can optimize your listing by just bringing in your listing from Amazon. You can click on optimize and you can do that. But I want to show you how to do this from scratch. So what you want to do is you can put in an ASIN if you want to kind of get an idea of where to start. But I usually just start with nothing. Keywords. So you can either create a keyword list of your own within Cerebro. You can get keyword suggestions by putting in ASINs here. So you can just put 2 of the top ASINs and it'll give you keyword suggestions, or you can manually add them in. So if we were doing a knee brace for dogs, you can do an import, you can upload, you can do all of this kind of stuff. You can basically type in your own, you can copy paste it, whatever you want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with our coffin shelf, because I have a kind of a list already created for coffin shelf. That's our Project X product, but you basically can add these keywords to your bank. Okay. So I added those keywords that I had a keyword list for this particular product. And so if you want to delete any of them, you can just click on this X, but I think these are pretty good. So I'm going to take out the bat shelf, but I'm going to go ahead and go next. What you can do here is you can actually create your listing, and every time you use a keyword, it's going to actually cross it off. So what you can do is you can say, okay, coffin, let's see here. It's a black coffin shelf, wooden, spooky. So these are all the characteristics of it. Gothic, things like that. You can do it for bedroom. Huh?
You know this based on the product that you have, right? So
yeah,
kind of,
So this is just describing my product. So this is a coffin shelf. It's like a small miniature coffin shelf. You can put your brand name in here. That's optional. It's kind of a, something it'll put it in either at the beginning or at the end if you want it, wherever you want the brand to be. The name of the product is coffin shelf. You can choose a tone, like casual, friendly, whatever it is. I would just put casual. Target audience is Gothic, Halloween. I would say Gothic, maybe Gothic people. Let's do Gothic. You can avoid things like, I would say avoid like plastic because it's wooden, and large. It's not large, it's pretty small. So what you can do from there is you can click on write it for me, and it's going to write in your highest volume keywords. They're going to write in first into your title in there. And so you can see, let's see, add some spooky vibe to your home with this Gothic wooden shelf. I would say rewrite it. So you can just hit rewrite and it'll rewrite the title, and you can just rewrite it until you like it. So spooky wooden coffin shelf for the goth home, coffin bookshelf, or coffin mirror. So you can what you could do is you could use that suggestion and maybe like edit it a little bit, and you can kind of write. And this kind of gives you a way to get started, because a lot of people just start staring at their listing like, I don't even know where to begin. But this gives you a way to get started. It's not going to be perfect, but you can also do writing these bullets as well. So you can hit write it for me, and it's going to write bullets for you. So it's going to show you all these different kind of options, and you can keep or discard as you go. And you can just keep having it rewrite for you. So this is a really helpful tool to get some, juices flowing for creativity and get those bullet points going in, include all of those keywords that you want to write into your listing. So that's our AI listing builder, really helpful, and it'll help you get that going pretty quickly. Now, once you have your listing written, you want to track keywords, because keywords are really important, because you want to show up for the most important keywords that you're targeting. And so what you can do is you can put your product in here and you can put in a list of keywords and track your rank over time. So what I love about this is it gives you the search volume in here. It shows you your rank, how much you've improved or gone down, and it'll show you, your sponsored rank and, potential cost for PPC bids, all kinds of great information. It also shows you search volume for a product over time. So maybe like your rank is kind of struggling or it's down. Maybe it's because there's not a whole lot of traffic going there. You can take a look at a bunch of different angles here, but I like to do this because I like to see my rank, especially if you're launching a product. You want to see kind of what your rank is every hour. And so we have this little boost button. You can actually click on this boost button and it will check that keyword every hour on the hour for 8 days. So it'll give you up-to-date rank information so that you know every hour where you're at. You have up to 500 of these boosts at a time. So you can do 500 of these at a time, and you can track up to 5,000 keywords. So this is a great tool to just keep track of your progress for your organic rank and where you stand amongst your competitors there. Market tracker.
Before we continue to the market tracker, for those, let's say, who don't have a product, they can still use keyword tracker to track competitors and see just how they're doing with different keywords. Like if you want to kind of spy on the niche, see what's going on before you launch. Also an option, or generally once you've launched, you have competitors that you like, maybe you want to see like, hey, suddenly he was number 7, now he's number 1, and we used to be number 1. Like what the hell? Like what's going on? So yeah, this can help us too. Yeah,
exactly. So this next tool is our market tracker. And you can see we actually have created a bunch of different markets and we can save them in here. So I have one that's for our coffin shelf market. So if we click on this, we can go in and I have already set this market up. What's cool about this is you can put in your ASIN and some keywords, and it's going to basically show you your market share for this particular market. So you can see on this graph, this is my market share. We've got 25%. This one is, they've got 18%. Now they've actually started gaining on the marketplace. I've been seeing them they keep growing bigger and bigger. So this would be someone you might want to look at and see what they're doing, what keywords they're targeting, what's their strategy. It kind of like alerts you to that so that you can see what they're doing and maybe kind of do the same thing. And also any kind of new products that come into the market, it's going to alert you in here and you can either track them or ignore them. This is a coffin shelf. It's a makeup thing. So maybe not, but you can, choose to add whatever is the most relevant to your market into here so that you can see those products on the graph and you can see your market share compared to those products. So really it's a very helpful tool. It doesn't even have to be your product. You can just put it in a certain market and you can track the market and see, if it's growing over time and, who's the main player in the market, if there's one particular product that's dominating the market. So that is a great way to just look at the overall market of a product that you want to do or that you're already selling. Do you want to say something on that?
Yeah, I'm saying it's a great tool. I'll add to what you've been mentioning. I have videos for Blackbox, Cerebro, some of these, where I kind of show each little part, like, for those who maybe are not sure what is BSR down there or what's sales share. So I have these videos for each of these tools. I believe that we mentioned that I'll link them in the description because we can't really dive deep into each tool, like step.
Right.
It doesn't take us hours. So so these videos are available for those who want to kind of jump into tools. And the next one is a follow-up, right?
Yeah, the next one is, let's see here. I have follow-up here. Basically, follow-up is our tool. It's for basically getting reviews. So it's a way to follow up with customers through Amazon to get reviews. Now you have to be really careful on how you word everything, but you basically can automate these emails and they can go out at a certain time. We also have a review automation button. So within Seller Central, there's a button that you can click and request a review, and Amazon's actually already written out those reviews and they basically send it out for you. So you've probably as a consumer gotten these. A lot of times they'll just be like, hey, review this product. So basically, you can automate that with we have another a tool through follow-up that you can do that automatically. You can just set it up to automatically request those reviews so you don't have to go in and manually press each one and request those reviews. But follow-up is an incredible tool to make sure that you're continually getting those reviews, because those are really, really important for consumers. We also have Adtomic, which is our pay-per-click advertising tool. And this is really helpful because it automates a lot of things for you. So you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours managing your PPC. You can create rules in here that, you know, things will be automated for you, or you'll be alerted to certain things so that you can manage your PPC more effectively. So really, really an incredible tool for pay-per-click advertising. We have tons of support for this one. We have an entire course that helps you to learn pay-per-click advertising with Adtomic that's, you know, comes with a subscription to Helium 10. So it's really, really an amazing tool with a lot of support for you. Let's see, the next one is Refund Genie. Now, Refund Genie is really cool because it basically shows you where maybe Amazon might owe you some money. And a lot of people can come in here and see thousands of dollars. It's basically lost inventory, things like that, that Amazon actually owes you money. And so what you want to do is you want to download these kind of reports where there's a potential refund. And then all you have to do is submit a case and follow the instructions in that download, and submit the case through Seller Central to get those refunds. So really, really helpful to, you know, help you to find where there's opportunity to get refunds. Alerts is another thing that is really important to set up. So alerts, it actually does show, you know, a bunch of different products that for some reason this one isn't showing them all on this particular one. Oh, maybe it's because it's Europe. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll have to connect the US one. That's what's going on. But these alerts will basically alert you to a lot of different things, and you can set them up in the settings. Basically, it's going to show you, you know, if your buy box is lost, the listing is suppressed. Now, this is a big one. Sometimes your listing might get suppressed and you're not making any sales, but you don't notice for a few days. It's because your listing gets suppressed for a certain reason. So you can actually get yourself a text message if that happens through Helium 10. You can check off if you don't want any of these. You can check on the ones that you do want. You can get emailed like immediately, daily, or you can turn off the emails. But no matter what, even if you turn off the emails, I would say to, you know, choose the alerts that you want to, you know, see over time, and just put no email. And then what you're going to go to is our Insights dashboard, which is our newest thing, which gives you kind of an overview of your entire business. This is something that when you're running your Amazon business, you're going to want to just look at this every day, because it gives you an overview of any issues, anything that's good that's going on. So for example, we've got Adtomic here, Adtomic Insights. You click on this and it's going to say, it says review and apply negative keyword suggestions. So it's got some new negative keyword suggestions for the PPC campaigns that you should apply. You know, listing optimization, it's going to tell you some things, how to optimize your listing. Inventory, it might tell you you're running low on inventory, or, you know, you might want to reorder. So it'll show you that. And then it'll also show you if you have any refunds available. So it looks like there's one potential refund available there. But those alerts are important because if you scroll down, you've got all your products listed right here, and you can see the alert for that product. So this one, this alert, it'll expand it out. It looks like the dimensions change. Now that's a really important one, because sometimes your dimensions can change and put you into an entire different category, and you might have to, they might charge you more for FBA because they accidentally measured your product wrong. So this is really an important alert, because it can save you a lot of money that, you know, Amazon might be taking from you because they have the wrong dimensions of your product. So these alerts are really, really helpful to set up, and then it'll just show you each product that has an alert, any insights of things that are recommended to update or change. And then it'll also show your profits and losses and sales and all that great information all in one place. So I love this tool just for like a daily check-in to see, you know, how you're doing. You can see your revenue. You can see how many orders, units sold, your expenses, all that great stuff, all in one easy to read dashboard. And that's a pretty good overview of everything. I also wanted to, you know, just point out again that we have these learn videos too. If you want more in-depth training on each tool, you can just go and click on those and learn more about the tool that way. So yeah.
I wanted also to mention, Carrie, and if we could, maybe if you have a minute or two, please, to go through the pricing of Helium 10. We can see the pricing page maybe. How much is it today? And there's an option to pay monthly, yearly. Maybe we can open the plans and billing here even inside.
Pricing page here. So I always just like to click on the main pricing page.
Yeah. We're going to link it in the description as well, the pricing page. People can go here and kind of follow along if they want. Of course, we have the discounts also, which can be applied here in the coupon code section. I'll leave them in the description, and free trial in Helium 10 as well. So we have basically 3 plans: starter, platinum, diamond, right?
So we've got, the starter plan, and it shows you everything that's included. So you can
Yeah.
see, the overview, but when you just expand this out, it'll show you how many uses, or if you have no uses, how many keywords you can track. So you got 500 for the platinum plan, listing optimization. You've got limited listing optimization on the platinum and starter. However, if you are just starting out, a platinum is going to be good for you to get going. And then if you're already selling, I highly recommend the diamond plan, because you're going to be able to utilize all the things that I showed you today. And so it's really important to be on this highest plan if you're already selling, to just maximize your sales. For Adtomic, you have it. It's basically an add-on, $199 a month for Adtomic. And then you can also expand down further here. You can see all the, product research. You can see the keyword research, and what's important to you, you can take a look at and see which plan has those items in there. You can see annual pricing too. If you wanted to pay for the entire year, you can click that and you save 25% per month by doing an annual plan. A lot of great information there. You can also do an Adtomic and Diamond bundle here. So that's a great way to save. If you wanted to do Adtomic too, you can bundle it there. So lots of great different options to utilize here. Adtomic by itself again is $199. We also have something called Market Tracker 360. Now, I showed you Market Tracker, which is included in those other plans. Market Tracker 360 is like for, on steroids. So it's got tons and tons of data, and it's you can look at in detail at bigger markets. So that's pretty much the pricing on Helium 10.
Yeah, so I'll again mention to our viewers that we have the pricing page in the description if they want to check more, because there are many tools and maybe they want to pick the right ones for them. Star, Platinum, Diamond, Freedom Ticket course by Kevin King is included in all of them for free. So instead of buying it separately or buying training that might be quite expensive, you can invest even in the starter plan, which is like, if you're doing like yearly, it's $29 per month with a discount that will include in the description, is going to be even cheaper. All these plans. Yeah, there's also the elite plan, which is like more like coaching to that plan. I have a video with Cassandra from Helium 10 where we kind of overviewed it. We're going to link it in the description. It's more for those who need like more support, and I think it's a good investment as well.
Under this learning hub right here, you can see all the courses that are available now. We have something. So this is the Freedom Ticket 3.0. This actually shows you how to sell on Amazon and how to sell on Walmart. So we have full courses, in-depth, really incredible information in there, better than paid courses that are out there. This is the PPC Academy. So if you get the Adtomic, you're going to want to take this. We also have Exit Ticket, and this is kind of an interesting thing too, because it's planning for actually selling your business at the very end. So it's a very, very in-depth course, and this is for Diamond, I believe, only and above. So basically, this is going to show you how to kind of prepare your accounting and bookkeeping and all that great stuff to make sure that you have a really successful exit. So I actually think this is really good to, once you get started and you're selling, you've gotten going and you've gotten the hang of it, to take this and take a look at, what kinds of things you need to do to set up your business for a successful exit.
So again, we're going to have all the links in the description. Free trial of Helium 10, free account with the best discounts, and the pricing page, and all the relevant videos for the tools that we've been talking about today. I think we covered most of the tools. If something wasn't covered, I'll try including it in the description. I think we did cover most of them.
Most of them. Yeah, there's a lot. So those are the main tools.
Yeah. Cool. And also, I just remembered we did a video about profitability calculator, which is part of the Helium 10 extension. So everything's going to be linked in the description. Carrie, thank you for your time today. It was really interesting. We kind of gave examples and we showed the tools in action, which is really cool. I appreciate your time today. Thank you. And for listeners, viewers, thank you as well.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.